Okay, so today we're working on probability models first, and then we'll go to other ones that are conditional probabilities, which are a lot like probability models. So, quiz today? No, no, we took the quiz last time. Yeah. So Dylan and Hunter have quizzes today. All right. So, oh, I'm locked here. Boom, boom. There. Okay, looking at that table. The table at the right shows the number of students who passed their driving test as well as whether or not they took driver's ed class is displayed there. What effect, if any, does taking driver's ed class have? Well, looking at it, 32 of the 39 who took driver's ed passed. 18 of the 41 who did not take driver's ed passed. So you had 23 failures there and only 7 there. What's the bottom line? Taking driver's ed? Help pass the class. Okay? So we could ask questions in various ways. We could ask, out of all the people who took their driver's test, what percentage passed, or what percentage took driver's ed, and what would that be? Out of all the people that passed their driving test, what percentage took driver's ed? Yeah, I know.
So how many took driver's ed?
The question is, out of all those that passed the driving test, how many took driver's ed? 32 of the 50. Okay? That's a different question than, out of all the people who took driver's ed, how many passed the driving test? And that one is 32 out of 39. Okay? So it depends how the question is asked, what numbers you use. Okay? So that's a two-way frequency table where we have stuff going this way and this way. And we use the two-way frequency table when we're doing the college professors and teaching assistants. Okay? All right. So this next table, the data table shows about student involvement in extracurricular activities at a local high school. What's the probability that a randomly chosen student is a female who is not involved in extracurricular activities? So you have to look at those who are not involved in extracurricular activities. And it says, what is the probability the randomly chosen student is a female not involved in extracurricular activities? Female not involved is 120 out of the total number of students. Okay, out of the total numbers of students. Because they were just looking for the probability the student is female who is not involved. Okay. Now, looking at the next table, there's a two-way frequency table showing the male students and the female students by grade level on the prom committee. What's the probability that a member of the prom committee is a male who is a junior? So you got to be both male and junior out of the prom committee. Male juniors, there are 3 out of the whole number of prom committee. 1/4 of the kids are junior males. Okay. Now, that's a little different than conditional probability, where depending on what you start with, what's the probability? So it works from there to there. Okay? So you always go from right to left. It's not the normal way of reading. We read sentences left to right. But when we're doing conditional probability, given this set of people, how many are this? Okay? Given the probability, given event A, what is the probability of B? Okay? So, the respondents of an opinion poll were asked whether they were for, against, or had no opinion about a bill before the state legislature to increase the minimum wage. What's the probability that the randomly selected person is over 60 given that they had no opinion on the state bill? So, given no opinion, they are over 60. Okay? It's not out of the 1,000 people because they're saying given that they had no opinion. So the no opinion column is here, given that. So it would be the 40 out of the 100. Okay? So moving on from that, let's look at question 2A down here. What's the probability a randomly selected person was 30 to 45 years old, given the person was in favor of the minimum wage bill? So in favor is all these 780 people. What's the probability that they're 30 to 45? Well, that's 200 of them. So it'd be 200 out of the 780. Okay? So you just got to be careful how it's asked. Okay? So we're looking at a certain population and then figuring out from that population a subpopulation. Okay? The last one, what's the probability that a randomly selected person is not 18 to 29, given the person is in favor of the minimum wage bill? The in favor of the minimum wage bill is 780. Not 18 to 29. Well, if there's 310 here, you'd go 780 minus 310, which is 470 out of the 780. Okay. All right. When you have percentages, you just take percentage divided by percentage, okay? Or else you can take percentage times the number and then work backwards, but it's a lot quicker to do percentage divided by percentage. What is the probability that someone who attended the seminar had an increase in sales? If they attended the seminar, we're only looking at this column. Had an increase of sales is here out of the total. So it's 0.48 out of 0.8, which is 0.6. Okay. What's the probability the sales representative who did not attend the seminar did not see an increase in sales? So those that did not go to the seminar is 0.2. Did not see an increase in sales is 0.18. So you take 0.18 divided by 0.2. Okay. 0.18 divided by 0.2. And that's like 0.9. 90% of the people who did not go to the seminar didn't see any increase in sales. All right, let's look at some of the homework problems you might happen to see. So, when you see a line like this is the group that we're looking at as a group, and then you go back to there to find out the numbers. So, for this one, out of those who support the issue, which is 58 total, how many are Democrat? Well, 23 out of 58. And it says round to the nearest hundredth, calculators people. What's 23 divided by 58?
0.39.
To the nearest hundredth. Now, do you see any line on this one separating two things? No. So that's seventh grade boys out of everyone because there's no line there. So we're talking about the whole group. What's the probability of being a seventh grade boy? Well, that's a seventh grade boy out of everyone. 6 out of 50 reduces down to 0.12. On this one, attended college is a liberal. Okay, that has a line in it, so you're only looking at those that attended college. Well, what's the total for attended college? It doesn't have a total column here. So we got to figure out the total. 15 plus 11 is 26, plus 27 is 53. Liberals is 15. 15 out of 53. Simplified fraction. Hey, that's already a simplified fraction. It can't go down any further. The probability an animal chosen at random is a dog, given the treat was shots only. So given this, this is what we have, and then we go back to there. So given that it's shots only, what's the probability it's a dog? So it's 0.35 divided by 0.70, which is 0.5. The probability of being a freshman. Well, a freshman is a freshman out of everybody. 8 out of 48, which is 1/6, since they're asking for a simplified fraction. So on today's worksheet, make sure you look and see what they're asking for. Make sure you look and see what they're asking for. All right, there you go. That is the first section we're covering.